Tonight, something strange will happen in your home. The sun will disappear, but your room will not become night. You will press a switch, and your brain will receive a message your ancestors never received after sunset. Stay awake. For most of human history, this would have been impossible. When darkness arrived, the world did not just become dim, it became dangerous. Your eyes weakened, the landscape vanished, predators gained advantage. Every sound outside the shelter could mean or death. And yet, humans did something that changed everything. They stole a piece of daylight. They placed it on the ground and they gathered around it. Fire did not just warm the body, fire created a first safe circle in the night. Inside the circle, human could talk, teach, remember, watch, imagine, and sleep differently. Outside the circle was darkness. Inside it was the beginning of human culture. But here is the part most people miss. That ancient relationship with darkness may have shaped the way your brain expects nights to feel, the way you sleep, the way you wake up at 3 a.m., the way your mind refuses to shut down under modern lights. Because the modern world did not simply give humans more brightness, it may have broken one of the oldest rhythms in the human body. The exact timeline on when humans started using controlled fire is still unclear, but at some point, humans learned to keep flame close. And once they did, night was never the same. Before fire, darkness mostly ended the human day, not because humans were tired, because the night was unsafe. Once the sun disappeared, distance became dangerous. The land was still there, but humans could no longer read it clearly. So the safest choice was simple: stay close, stay quiet, wait for morning. But fire changed what night could become. It did not turn night into day, but it created something smaller and much more important: a protected space inside the dark. And the night became something different: a time for the group, a time for memory, a time when the body could slow down. This is the key. Ancient night was not like modern night. It was longer, darker, quieter, and the body had time to move through night slowly. Sleep did not need to be rushed into one perfect block. The middle waking period was not a problem. A person could wake in the dark and not panic. We, as modern people, often believe sleep should behave like a machine. Close your eyes, disappear for 8 hours, wake up cleanly. But human nights may not have worked that way. The body may have expected a pause, a quiet space between two sleeps. And once you understand that, the history of fire, darkness, and sleep starts to connect. Fire did not just warm the body, it changed the human schedule. Before controlled fire, darkness limited almost everything, and fire gave just a few extra hours, but those hours really mattered. They gave humans space to gather, to speak, to remember, to imagine. In 2014, anthropologist Polly Wisner studied conversations among the hoansi of the Kalahari. And the pattern was striking. During the day, talk was mostly practical, about food, hunting, or work. But at night, around fire, conversation changed. Stories took over. Fire helped humans think beyond the present. Humans did not always sleep the way we sleep now. In 2001, historian Roger Akirk published a research that looked at the history of sleep. He has spent years studying, and across hundreds of references, the same phrases kept appearing: first sleep, second sleep. Before the industrial age, many people did not sleep in one continuous block. They often went to bed not long after dark. They slept for several hours. Then they woke in the middle of the night for 1 or 2 hours. Then they returned to sleep until morning. This was not considered insomnia, it was just part of the night. And that waking period had a life on its own. People prayed, they talked, they interpreted dreams while they were still fresh. They visited neighbors. Some simply stayed in bed and fought. There was a passage between first sleep and second sleep. Now, modern people struggle with this idea because we inherited a different role. Sleep should be one block only. If you wake inside it, something feels broken. But older records suggest another possibility. Maybe the night once had a middle. In the early 1990s, psychiatrist Thomas Ware studied what happened when artificial light was removed from modern volunteers. For several weeks, they lived with long nights, about 14 hours of darkness. At first, their body adjusted, and then a pattern appeared. They slept for several hours, they woke quietly, then they slept again. Nobody told them to do this. Nobody suggested an ancient sleep pattern. The rhythm emerged on its own. So the two sleep pattern was not only a historical phrase, it was still possible inside modern bodies. Given enough darkness, the body seemed to return to an older schedule. So, what removed this from our lives? Was it just light? No, not all at once. Step by step, street lamps appeared in cities, candles became cheaper, gas lighting spread. Then electricity light broke the old boundary. Later, screens brought artificial light directly into the bedroom. The night became negotiable. Darkness stopped controlling the human schedule. And when darkness shrank, sleep changed. First sleep was delayed, second sleep was compressed. The waking interval became inconvenient for us. So a new pattern emerged. Sleep once and straight through. Wake just when the clock demands it. And that became normal for us. Just imagine waking after first sleep in a world without glowing clocks. No phones, no street light through the curtain. The night is still long in front of us. The room is still. You are awake but not alarmed. You think and remember a dream you just had. You listen. You focus. Then slowly sleep returns. Second sleep. That experience has almost disappeared now. Not because the body forgot it, but because the world no longer allows it. Modern sleep is not just a biological routine. It is a negotiation with clocks, work, screens, alarms, streetlights, and expectations. We just think that waking in the middle of the night means something is wrong. We check the time, we count the hours we have left, and if the body resists, we call it a problem. But maybe the problem is not the waking up. Maybe the problem is just the light. Because somewhere between the campfire and the smartphone, night stopped being night. Darkness used to arrive as a command. Now it is something we choose, delay, we interrupt it, and ignore it. And when we erase the darkness outside us, we actually change the rhythm inside us. The body kept its ancient machinery, but the world around it became too bright, too fast, and too demanding. So tonight, when the lights goes off and the room finally becomes quiet, remember this. Sleep may not be one single door. For almost of human history, it was two doors, with a forgotten room in between. A quiet room, a dark room, a place where dreams faded slowly, thoughts became softer, and the body waited for sleep to return.